Ryan here from Little King Watches, and I'm so excited to show you how to do a small hand polish to bring some vintage watches back to life. So with me today, I have this automatic Wittnauer. Now, as you can see, it's in great shape, but the gold is just a little bit, it's dull, right? And so it's oxidized a little bit. It can be brought back to life to really shine again. And then I have this vintage Waltham that almost has this pewtery color, this darkness, but you're gonna see how much this really brings back and how much it really shines when it is polished. I'm just using a very simple material my watchmaker had given me. It basically is a polishing cream, and it just basically deoxidizes the material and brings it back. Now you gotta be careful if you're using precious metals or silvers, because pushing too hard could remove top layers, and oftentimes, over time they're very thinly plated. You could wear through, but we're working with a gold and we're working with a steel case, I believe. So, you'll see the pressure difference that I use. Poly watch for the crystal, a Q-tip to get into some of those edges, especially if it is a engraved case. Sometimes you need to get in there. And then this is great for things like the neck or around the crown, or areas that you can't get into. But let's dive in. I will start, probably because it'll just be the most dramatic, I'll start with the Waltham. And sorry, these are the microfiber cloths, but we're not going to use those to the end to do the crystal and the final polish. We're going to use good old-fashioned Kleenex. So as you can see, it is a little bit tarnished, but not too much. I've definitely had worse. I have a video coming out where I'm working on a vintage Hamilton, but that's an adventure. I usually just dab it so it looks like this, fold it a few times, and then I'm just going to lightly apply some pressure, and I'm going to repeat this process a few times. So as you can see, you start to see, obviously there's stuff coming off. It's like this black swirly material. It almost looks worse, but as in many things, it's darkest before the storm, right? So you have to, it's darkest before daybreak. I think that's the saying. Well, I messed that one up. Okay, wow, look at all the material coming off. Now, if I just give it a little polish, you're gonna see, look how much darker that is. It almost looks worse. So it just means that we have to keep going. We're not close yet. And as you can see, there's a lot of material coming off. Now that's just one quick polish, but you can already see how much shinier that was than before. We're not done. We're gonna keep going. This process takes time and repetition. I also chose one that wasn't too bad. This is the Hamilton that I've already started on. And as you can see, look at how dark that material is. There's a lot of rust. So this started all the way up to here. So that's a project, but we'll do that. I was having to push so hard on that steel case that it was shaking the table because I don't have the right setup. So I'm gonna finish that video later. Now, if you look, we just went a first time, we go again, and wow, the amount of material coming off of this, the amount of grime over the centuries is wild. I haven't actually run the serial numbers on this one just yet, but based on its case design, it's gonna probably be early 20th century, so 1905, 1910, something like that. Could even be a little bit older. Okay, so this one is actually sneaky, way dirtier than expected. It just keeps coming off. Now, if this is a precious metal, you really want to be careful about like pushing or applying really hard. So what I'm doing is I'm just letting the actual material do the work. So that cream is incredible. I'll put that up on the screen again. Just buy it on Amazon. It's very inexpensive and it really does the trick. Now, I usually repeat this process a few times, but as you can see just on one polish, how black the material is, but how shiny we're already getting the watch. So just incredible. Okay, well, we're not done on the case back. I'm gonna come back to it, but I'm just gonna show you even on the sides. So we can see again how shiny that is and how dark and pewtery that looks. So let's go to the side and let's start. It's gonna do the exact same thing. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's already starting to pull off some black material. Find the sides usually aren't as bad as the case back for amount of times that I need to do it. I find they polish up a little bit easier. And as you can already see, it's starting to shine versus there, it doesn't shine at all. But as you can see, there's a lot coming off still. So this process, I would say, takes usually about 10 minutes for me to kind of do this little hand polish on a watch. And oftentimes what I'll do is I'll do the polish, it'll look great, and then I'll come back a few hours later or the next day and I'll keep working at it, or I'll do it again, depending on the watch. Okay, so as you can see, it's really starting to shine up versus this side, not shiny at all. There is some, I can't tell if those are scratches or if it's more debris that I moved around. So we just keep polishing. At the end, you're gonna notice like it's still pulling off material even without any cream there. Whoa, okay, that was a lot. I think that was off camera, but a lot just squirted out. My tube is starting to run low, so it's a little bit more aggressive now when it's coming out, but that's okay. If you get a little bit on the crystal, that's okay as well. Just gonna wipe that off after. As you can see, it's a really dark material coming through. Now, it's interesting sometimes, I will say, when it is pewtery or dark or faded, you oftentimes don't see these imperfections in the case. So while you're cleaning it up sometimes you unlock some mysteries or some things that you don't want to see. I've actually cleaned cases that I didn't even know were engraved. And then when I actually get to the back, I see that they're either a factory engraving or there's actually like, you know, to so-and-so happy graduation or happy anniversary or whatever, something like that. I'm gonna go back to the case back just to show you that even though it was already super shiny, it's a little bit too much material that I put on because there's a little too much on the clinics. Now luckily this is a screw-on case and I'll make sure that I run the toothpick around to make sure that I don't get any in there. That is a mistake I made in the past when I was starting this, was I did it on a snapback case that was not very tight and it definitely got some inside the case. Now luckily none went on the movement, but it was just a mess cleaning up and trying to get it out of all of the little grooves or indents that allows the case back to snap in. So that was just an absolute mess. Okay, so toothpick time. As you can see to the edge of the toothpick, I actually got a lot of debris out of there. Okay, again, that's some more debris. Okay, so we'll keep going. Mirror, I can see myself now. That's always a good sign. When I can see myself in the pocket watch case, I know I'm getting closer. But if I go again and I add more, and I start to continue to give it a little bit more of a heavy, aggressive. Now this is a steel case, so I'm not as worried about pulling off top layer material like gold or silver. Look how much I'm still getting off that case back. Like as much as it looks like it's ready and it's fully clean, like there's still so much more to do on this one. This one really was a sneaky one. I thought this was gonna be like a 2-minute video, 3-minute video, you know, and we are almost 10 minutes in. But look at the difference. And I still left it the same down here. So you can see how dark it started to how good it's looking now. I'm gonna keep going. I might speed up this middle part though, just because I don't know if people wanna watch the entire thing. There's not really any tricks left that I have, except maybe I'll speed it up and then stop it when I get to the crown area, because that can be a little bit tricky. Just doing the case side. Like, look at that. Just centuries of debris, oils. I like the word gunk. So it's one of my favorite things to do is you find these old pocket watches that, to be honest, just aren't looking that good. And you know that with a little bit of elbow grease and hard work, it's also like extremely cathartic. You know, sometimes people say like, oh, I could watch videos of people, I don't know, doing things, or back in the day, I used to love watching like how it's made. You would just watch like machines press like Tic Tacs or something, and it's like you could watch that for hours. Or I get trapped watching people do the if you've ever seen the power washing of things. So they go to an area that's absolutely disgusting and been left alone, and they start power washing, and the transformation is unbelievable when it's done. Okay, so I would probably do this more, but as you can see, it is already looking 100 times better from where it started. Now I have some more work to do here because I still have to get up around the crown area, which sometimes can actually take just as long, if not longer, than the entire case itself, because there's so many angles to get to. I also find the crown itself one of the hardest, because you don't want to apply too much material because it gets stuck in those grooves. Been there, done that. It takes forever to clean. So you want to be very light with it. I also find that if you gotta be careful with this loop, because you want to get both sides of the loop as well. And so that's always hard. And there's a lot of grooves and angular changes in this area. So this is where I often will use which I haven't used yet, the Q-tip. Well, that's way too much. Okay, so I'm just gonna dab that over there. I can use that after. Okay, so now we're gonna go around the ring. I'm gonna be pretty liberal with it because there's no seams here. I gotta get inside. I gotta get outside. Okay. And then this is sometimes what I'll do is I will basically, once the material is applied, kind of fold it in half and go back and forth like this. That way I'm getting the inside. As you can see, there's quite a bit of debris there. Okay, this is where I'm going to switch to the Q-tip. Now I have some material over here already, and I'm going to just apply it here. This is more for the application. Can actually get it off after. You can see the Q-tip's already gone black. Sorry, I oftentimes have this flat on the table, but I'm noticing, if you notice this, when I work too hard, it actually shakes the camera. So when I'm pushing a little harder, I'm lifting up in the air, which is actually exhausting my arms. So highly recommend against that, but I don't want the camera to shake too much. Okay. So as you can see, you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to get your case refinished or sent off to be polished when you can do a pretty good job at home. Now, the thing I have not done yet is this crown. So let's see what we can get here. Getting a lot of debris. I'm gonna get the Q-tip again. Okay, let's try something here. It's a little wet. Okay, but it's dry. So the crown's always the hardest, especially when it has grooves like this. I really like when I see more of a simple crown, but that's fine. Still has a lot of material coming off it, but it's already starting to shine, which is so nice to see. And if you turn it a little bit, that's okay. Worst case, you're just winding the crown, trying to go in the opposite direction. Oh, we don't want that. Got stuck underneath the crown. We don't want that. I gotta be careful. Okay, so as you can see, the crown is now shiny and beautiful. And the watch is now shiny and beautiful. So this is where I do my last stage. Now be careful, your fingers get pretty black and dark, so be careful when if you're wearing like a white shirt or other things. So this is gonna destroy this, by the way. So, but I can use this for a couple pocket watches in a row, so that's fine. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do that final polish. And like I said, I would actually probably, based on how sneaky dirty this one was, come back and do it again. So I'll probably do this one a couple times before I'm really happy, because as you can see, there's still debris and gunk that wants to come off of this watch. It is not fully finished yet, but just for the power of the camera, just so we can see and have that gratification. Ta-da! It is a shiny, beautiful, almost looks factory new case. Now, the last thing I'm gonna do, as I always do this, is put a little bit of poly watch. This stuff is super expensive. And then I actually didn't get the other side of this too dirty. Normally, that's why I have two cloths, but I'm just going to do a little bit of a hand polish. I do some circle swirls, clean up that glass. I didn't notice any surface level scratches or anything on this, but I find that it really brings it back to life. Wow, okay. So we have, oh, that was even getting some gunk off as well from the crystal. So we have a beautiful Waltham. Crystal looks to be in great shape. The case is in great shape. It's new and ready to go. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for watching part 1. Part 2, I'm gonna do a gold wristwatch, and we're gonna see how that works. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you can turn some of these forgotten, kind of languished, pewter looking pocket watches back to how they would have originally looked. Stunning. Oh look, there I am. Hello. Not really camera ready, but that's fine. As you can see me. Thank you for watching. This is Ryan from Little King Watches. Please subscribe for more how-to videos. I also have a ton of videos on the watches I sell, and they're all available at littlekingwatches.com. Thank you for watching.